Hey folks, I was gonna say hey guys, but I guess there's probably girls that watch this too. I wanted to show you guys my my JX3 setup with the tethered attachments. It worked pretty good for me this weekend, so I thought you might want to see it. So I have the tethered one sticks, awesome sticks, super lightweight, and I fastened those up under here using the leg straps. You guys are probably familiar with people fastening, you kind of do it like that. That's the sticks, and then right now I have the pack kind of open up the way I carry it, so obviously with my waist strap extended because it's going to be around you. If you'll notice, I only have one rope. That is because the JX3 tether is not used because I have a rappel rope. Rappelling is far superior to climbing down. It's superior enough that it's worth carrying the extra load. So obviously this will be on my back, but when I get to the tree, I set my bow down and I take the pack off. I'll stretch it out kind of like this, and then I get ready to open it up. So when I open it up, kind of looks kind of like so. I just had this out, so it's not exactly the way I would have it, but I kind of have this stuff in here like this. You'll notice I have the roll pouch from Tethrd, and you'll see some rope sticking out of it. When I climb up, I hook this to my chest strap because that's what I hang from. So I put this like 2.5 feet of rope around front of me so it's easy to access. And when you pull it out right here, if you fold it right, it doesn't come out of the bag, but you can pull slack. So this right here works pretty well. I did make one mistake. So I bought these hooks from Tethrd and they work great. The only problem is, if you notice, I've got the hook pointing that way. It really needs to be pointing that way because it keeps coming undone. And I just hooked that right. So this is the way it actually would be. It would actually be hooked like that to the harness, and the rope would be coming out the top in this position. So with it opened up like this, the rope is going that way. That way, when you fold it back up, that rope is going to be coming out the top, and that way you can pull rope out of it. I guess you could technically do it out the bottom too. The top just seems to be a little less clunky. So that's the bag. And then I also have the sis hauler. I've got a ring of steps inside of here. I've got the tree strap, my bow rope, and then I've got the carabiners or the bow hanger from Tethrd hooked right here. Now this, you'll notice I've got this little piece of paracord on here, and it's doubled up like this. I didn't come up with a good idea for this, and you guys are welcome to give me your suggestions, but this is kind of like what I call transport mode. If you notice, I've got a bulk of material like right here, and then I've got this bag, which is kind of like a bulk of material right here, and then I kind of take my harness and stuff and kind of push it to that side, so I get nice even bulk across the pack. Seems to work out okay. But what I do is, this is like what I call transport mode for the pack here, or for the dump pouch, I guess they're called. So let me tighten this up before I forget it, because I don't want to dump this thing out. Everything's harder with one hand. All right, so this is how I transport, but then when I get up to the tree, I take one of them off like so, and I pull it down like that, and then I kind of put it to the side. Obviously, the reason I do that is so you can access the bag. If it's up here, you can't really reach it unless you have really long arms. I got T-Rex arms. Stop hating. So I'll have that hanging out like so. On my harness, I've got one carabiner that I have hooked up all the time. Typically, I keep it hooked to this bottom one right here just so it doesn't hit the top one and make noise. But for now, it's just hooked to the, well, I guess it is technically hooked to the bottom. It just kind of came around. So when I'm sitting in the tree, it's kind of hanging from the bottom right there. It's just that's just my changeover carabiner for when I change over to my rappel device. So I'll pull this rope off of here. I've got this hooked to a carabiner with a carabiner to that strap, and then so that gets hooked to my chest strap. The chest strap is built into the saddle, and then when I'm ready to go up the tree, obviously I'll put my harness on. This will be folded back up, and I kind of tuck that pouch back in there, and it kind of stays just on its own. And I'll climb up the tree with it kind of like that. So the bag is tucked into the side. The pouch is hanging right there. And then the rope Now this looks a little clunky because everything's not like strapped into me, but it's a lot cleaner than this when it's all strapped in. And then this will be hanging to me right there, like that, right? So I'll climb up the whole tree using my lineman's rope. And then once I get to the top one stick, I'll take this ring of steps out and I'll put those about a 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet above the top step. I guess you technically could go higher if you really wanted to. I make those things tight enough that I can stand on them with all my weight. So I'll use those as like a fourth stick. So anyways, I'll get those put on, and then I'll climb up a little more, and I'll be standing on the top step now. And then I'll climb up to, after I got to that high, I'll climb up on top of those. And then I will take this right here, and I take this off. This is my Kong duck and the black D-ring. And I'll go ahead and put this around the tree. Get you a stopper knot so that this will stay if you want to do this. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to do it, but I hook that around the tree. And then I hook this to my bridge, and I hook my Kong duck to it, and this is what I hang from. Once I'm at that point, now obviously at this point you're going to have this thing unfolded by the time you sit down and put weight on this. So I'll go ahead and, once I get that hooked up, I won't undo my lineman's rope yet. I'll go ahead and flip this thing down and put it under me like you're going to be, using it. And then once I'm sitting and the tension is on my tether line and the Kong, then I'll go ahead and pull my rope off and daisy chain my rope back. And then you don't need to touch your lineman's rope anymore at all, unless you want to use it as like a pull device for a branch or something. Typically you just don't need to use it anymore. So now you're sitting in a tree, and I've got one of the JX3 carabiners I keep right here on this strap. So that way when I put my harness on, all I got to do is just hook it, screw it, and this one just stays here. Some people keep it on the bridge. Some people keep it on here. I keep it on here, that way I don't get these two mixed up. And then once you're ready to come down the tree, your rappel bag is just hanging right there below you, right? So you basically just drop the bag, and then my gree is inside of there in the top pouch. So once I drop the rope, I've got access to my gree. I'm going to be hooked up with that black carabiner and the Kong, but I've got that extra carabiner right here. So I'll hook that up to the gree, put my weight on the gree, and then I'll go ahead and take that black one back off and hook it to my chest rig. Then I just rappel down the tree, taking stuff off as you go down and putting it back away. As far as going up the tree, I have the one sticks, right? So I hook the one sticks. I hook them right there on these guys right here. If you notice, when you hold a one stick, when you don't drop on one stick, if you notice you hang it on that, hold it on that corner, it kind of hangs to the left. So if you hang this one like that and you hang that one like that, they don't make any sound going up the tree at all. They don't touch each other. You don't need any extra rope or anything. Even without any silencers on this, it doesn't make any noise. So on the way down, I just hook them right back in there. It's pretty easy to get to. On the way down is a little more difficult because you got the seat deployed. It's not, hooked up behind you, but it's still not difficult. So then I get to the ground and just pack everything back up the way you saw it at the beginning of the video. And then I'll walk back out, and that's pretty much it. It takes probably 8 minutes to get up in the tree, get everything completely set up. It takes probably 5 to 6 minutes to get down, get everything tied up and put away. And it makes no noise. Obviously, your noise factor is going to depend on where you put your gree and your carabiners and all that. The way I kind of hook my stuff together, there's nothing to clank around. You might get a little bit of noise from just that, but I don't have any silencer on this either, so I could take care of that too. So that's pretty much it. It wasn't the cheapest setup in the world. Stuff from Tethrd and stuff from JX3 in one system was a little pricey. Absolutely worth it. carries like butter. There's no weight on it, hardly. It's heavy on the ground, but when you put it on your back, there's nothing to it. I've got room to put a bow hanger on the back side of it, so I don't even have to carry my bow next time out. Probably gonna get one of those from Everly stock and figure out how to mount it. And yeah, that's basically it. Anyway, that's my setup. That's how I use it. Works pretty well. The rappel rope is awesome. If you need to get down a tree for whatever reason, you rappel down, and then you've got a descender and an ascender, so you can descend down the tree, and then when you go do your business wherever, whatever you do, and then come back to the tree, you don't even need to use your lineman's rope. You can just rappel right up. Branches in the way or not, you can just walk right up the tree just like you're one roping, or SRT, whatever they call it. You just rappel up and pull your ascender, walk right up the tree, and you're there. So it's really fast to get up and down. It's even faster to single rope if you need to get down. Like if you want to hunt in the morning and the afternoon and just leave your stuff set up, super fast, and it doesn't weigh very much when it's on your back. So I think this is probably altogether like maybe 15 pounds, maybe 20. I don't know. It's not much. I hiked in 3 miles with it the other day and no problem. So, all right, guys, that's my setup. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Happy to hear them.